In an industry where we're always being sold the next new thing, right? The best strategy, the best win rate, the highest risk to reward. What I've actually found over my years of experience is that there's not just one thing that's gonna make you a good trader. Rather, it's a collective of different things that come together to actually mold you into a profitable trader. So what we're gonna do in today's video is go through exactly how I got good at Forex trading, how I managed to quit my job over 4 years ago and travel all around the world, living a life by design. So sit back, relax, actually no, get up, get a notepad and pen and write this down because it changed my life. And I know if you apply this, it can definitely change yours too. So let's run some B-roll and I'll see you guys in a sec. Sheesh! Let me take you back to the start of my journey. I remember when I got involved in 2016, I had no clue what I was doing. And I didn't realize that I need to find one strategy and stick to that till I become successful. So what I was doing at the start, which is completely wrong, don't do this, is I was jumping from strategy to strategy to strategy because I was under the impression that there's some golden strategy out there that's gonna have a 100% win rate, that's gonna make me millions and millions of dollars, and I'm never gonna lose any trades. But you have to remember, there's no strategy that's better than the other. Yes, I trade Wyckoff. Yes, I trade institutional order fulfillment, but that's no better than support and resistance. That's no better than break and retest. What actually matters is, firstly, does that strategy make sense to you logically? And do you understand that it doesn't matter the strategy, it's about how you're implementing it with good risk management? Again, I know people who have cleared multiple 7 figures using break and retest. But then I also know people who use the most complicated strategy and can't even win a trade. So what I'm saying is this, you can literally trade any strategy, but the key between any single successful trader is not the strategy they trade, it's that they did focus. Right, focus, follow one course until successful. You have to stick to that strategy and learn it. What are the expectations? What are the win rates? What is the biggest period of drawdown that your system will go into? Because yes, guys, guess what? Strategies will lose. Every strategy will have some drawdown, but what's gonna happen to you during those drawdowns? If you're gonna lose a few trades, now jump to a new strategy, of course you're not gonna get good at trading because you're not mastering one thing, right? It's better to focus on one thing, learn the ins and outs of it and become great at one thing rather than being decent at loads of other things. From there, once you make a realization and make a decision that you're gonna stick to one strategy. Now, for me, the frameworks that I used to pick a strategy was firstly, is it logical? Are there principles that I can use to validate and invalidate that? Because a lot of the time with other strategies that I personally found, again, there's nothing wrong or right with them, it just makes sense to you. But for me, I wanted to have a strategy that had no guesswork and it was a purely factual-based method of trading. So when I trade, I have exact principles that allow me to validate and invalidate it because of the routine that I developed. And this is the second point which we're gonna go into. How you're gonna get good at trading is firstly, sticking to one strategy. The second thing is now learning that strategy and developing a routine and how and when you're gonna begin to implement that. Once you find that one strategy and you realize that no strategy is better than the other, what you wanna do now is backtest that system thoroughly so that you can train your eye to that. Now, there's a lot of people who say backtesting's pointless, but here's the thing. Remember, there's different stages of your journey. The first step of getting good is becoming an analyst. You have to be an analyst before you can be a trader. So to develop your analytical skills, develop a daily routine where in that routine, you're doing end of day markup religiously every single day. At the end of each trading day, go back on today's price action and see if your entry criteria, if your setup actually presented itself. And if it did present itself, what you want to do is create a case study. Create a document where you take screenshots of higher time frames, lower time frames, and every single confirmation you use and put it in a document called case studies. So what you can do now is you can review these documents so your eye can further be trained. Just like going to the gym, right? You have to keep working out so you can get the gains. It's the same sort of thing with your eye. You have to train it to be seeing the setups. It depends on your time zone and where you are. I mean, I live in Asia, so I can do this in the mornings, right? So normally what I'll do first thing in the morning is I'll open the chart. You have to realize throughout a day, right? Even if you live in the UK where London session's early morning, wake up earlier and do a end of day markup for yesterday. Create these case studies in the morning to warm up before you actually trade. You know, if you're gonna go and let's say do Muay Thai, right? I do a lot of Muay Thai fighting out here. So before I do Muay Thai, I'm not just gonna get in the ring and start fighting. No, I gotta warm up. I've got to stretch my muscles. I've got to get and stretch all my body. So do the same thing with your trading before you trade. Warm up by back testing your strategy, finding the concepts, finding what moves happened yesterday. Or if you prefer to do it at night, do it at the end of the day. For me, the reason I do it in the morning is twofold. Number one, because our willpower and our energy is limited. The more time goes on throughout the day, the less energy, the less focus you're gonna have to really focus on these things that matter. And be consistent with it, guys, right? You can't just do this once when you feel like it. Every single day so you can understand the different movements that are happening. Now, from there, what you wanna do is an end of week markup. So at the end of each trading week, go back, look at the entire week and see if there was any other moves you missed. And you have to be dedicated to this. You can't just be trying to enter trades all the time. Right? It's about training your eye. So if you really want to get good at trading, you have to train your eye. Right? Every single day, guys, I'm always looking at the market, doing an end of day back test, end of week back test, and really just catching up on all the price action. Even whilst I'm traveling, right? What am I doing in the evenings? What am I doing in the mornings? I'm opening my laptop, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Of course, the more time you can spend, the better. But I'm opening my laptop, I'm looking on the charts to see what moves I could have capitalized on if I wasn't actually in them. Now what you can do is start to collect the data, right? How you get good at trading is by collecting data. So when I collect data, right, I have a massive spreadsheet. I have a massive database that tells me everything about my strategy, from the highest probable pairs that give me entries, from the times of day that give me the best entries, the days of the week that give me the best entries, to the months of the year, to the different variations of schematics, to the different types of price action that can develop, right? I collect data on all of this stuff. And through collecting data and repetition, you're gonna train your eye and you're gonna see it again and again and again. Things are not working in your live trading. Before you start live trading, go back, train your eye and create these case studies to see it again. It's basically pattern recognition. Right, we have in our eye something called a reticular activating system. This is your selective focus. It's like how, for example, wherever you are, right, just close your eyes for a second. All right, I know your eyes ain't closed. Keep them closed though. So now your eyes are closed. Just think about wherever you are, what was red? What was red in that room? Probably off the top of your head, you can't think of it. But now you open your eyes, all you're gonna see is all the red objects, all the red items. Even me just thinking about it, I can see these little red berries in the tree behind me. I can see these little red lights on the camera now that I didn't notice before, because my selective focus is now focusing on these things. So we have to train that eye, train that reticular activating system to see these things again and again and again. And it takes time, it takes repetition. You can't just do this once when you feel like it and expect to be a millionaire. Right? Just like if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a surgeon, you have to spend years of studying, years of working hard before you can go and get to that point. And it's the exact same thing in the markets. So make sure every single day you have that weekly, daily routine where you're doing that end of day markups, end of week markups. Then what you can begin to do is start doing what I call end of week reviews. What do we mean by end of day reviews and end of week reviews and end of month reviews? So what you want to do with your routine is at the end of each trading week, obviously each trade you take, you input in your journal, but at the end of each trading week, go back and review exactly what you did throughout that week. How many trades did you take? What went well? Even better if? How can you get better and study what happened that week? So in this review, in this document, not only are you going to put all the trades you take, but you're also going to put the trades you didn't take and the trades that you missed. Now, build that data log, because the more data you get through doing these reviews again and again, you're going to see your strengths, you're going to see your weaknesses. But the key is collecting enough data so you can actually see it play out. Now, we can't just do one end of week review. So open a document, put all the trades we took, write down a big in-depth conclusion of what went well, even better if from that trading week, and expect to do it once and be rich. No, it's a process. So I'll do that each week, right? The end of week review. Then at the end of the month, I'll go back and do that end of month review where I'm reviewing every end of week review I just did. So if you're doing the end of week review, on average 4 times a month, at the end of the month, you now want to sit down and complete an end of month review where you don't have to look at all your trades now. You can just go back, you can literally look at each of those 4 documents, open them up and basically write a conclusion of all of those different documents. Now, from doing that, you can see, well, what are you now going to focus on next month? So let's just say, for example, for one whole month, you keep missing trades on a Wednesday. Okay, cool. Well, now because of your end of month review and all those end of week reviews and all that data you collected, you can see, oh, I keep missing trades on a Wednesday. So now you can start to alter your schedule to make sure you're free and you're more aware on a Wednesday because that's the trades you keep missing. And vice versa. Let's say you keep losing trades on a Monday. All right, bet. We'll stop taking trades on a Monday for another month and then compare the data that you collected. Once you do that end of month review, you should do at least 3 of them in a row to get to the end of the quarter. Once you get to the end of the quarter, you want to do the same thing, another document, a conclusion, where all you're doing is now reviewing your end of month reviews. Because when you do the end of week reviews, you use those 4 end of week reviews to do an end of month review. Then you do 3 end of month reviews to do an end of quarter review. And it's the same sort of thing. What went well, even better if, what trades did I miss, and just reviewing that data. Now, I do have a trading journal where maybe I'll do a video in the future about it and how I actually journal my trades, and I'll give you guys my journal. If that's something you want, just let me know in the comment section and I will drop it for you. But have that data, collect it, and do those end of quarter reviews, because now you can periodically go back and reflect on exactly what you're doing. You see, the biggest problem is we're just taking too much action and not actually reflecting on the things we've done. We're not reflecting on the things that are working and not reflecting on the things that don't work. Sometimes you have to take a step back so that you can take leaps forward. Right? It's like if I'm gonna try and jump off here, right? I'm not just gonna jump like this. I've got to run back a little bit so that I can jump. Obviously, I ain't gonna jump off there because, there's just a lot of bush down there. But you get the point. So make sure you're spending that time to go back and reflect on the data you're actually collecting. If you're just going out there taking trades all the time and not going back and reflecting on it, you're not gonna get better, right? How you get better at Forex, and how I did, was doing these things that I'm telling you. It's that constant reviewing. Truth be told, I spend more time reflecting on my trading, journaling, reflecting on myself than I do actually live hunting for trades, because it follows what we call the 80-20 principle, where 80% of the time I'm not in a trade. But those 20% of the times where I'm in a trade is only possible because what I did during that 80% of the time. So 80% of the time I'm studying, I'm backtesting, I'm journaling, going into my journal, reviewing my data, learning off mentors, consulting people, right? Working on myself, working on my psychology, working on fundamentals. And all of that preparation, all of that work in the background is what allows me to perform when it actually comes to the time. So make sure with these routines as well, you're organized. Don't just go to a London session and think, oh my God, I'm gonna take a trade today. No, prepare. Did you have that chart marked up before? Do you understand the fundamentals from what's going on? Make sure you're preparing, right? Preparation prevents poor performance. So as long as you're preparing in advance, you're gonna be all right. The next thing that helped me get good at trading Forex was having what we call DMOs, daily methods of operation. Now, when I say DMOs and daily methods of operation, these are non-negotiables. These are things you're going to commit to doing every single day. And regardless of if you make a profit in the market or you don't, but by doing these DMOs, you're progressing towards that final goal of being a great trader. So what sort of daily methods of operation can you do? Well, like we just spoke about, end of day markups, end of week markups, right? End of day reviews, end of week reviews, end of month reviews. Making a habit to consistently get better and learn. Buying books all the time, reading books, listening to audios, doing things like working out, right? If you don't have the discipline to hit the gym, if you don't have the discipline to read a book, how the hell are you gonna have the discipline to manage a 6-figure account, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. For me to get good at trading, I didn't just get better at trading, I became more efficient in my life. Do you think a 6-figure version of yourself, the 7-figure version of yourself, sleeps into 1, 2, 3 p.m.? Do you think that version of yourself doesn't make his bed in the morning? Do you think that version of yourself can't commit up to these small promises that they make themselves? So what I'm saying, getting better at trading isn't just getting better at trading. You can't be a bum in real life and expect to be a goat on the charts. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So what you can do to work on yourself and get better is adopt those DMOs, those daily methods of operation. Things like reading 10 pages every single day, right? Listen to audiobooks every single day. Planning your days the night before. That is probably one of the biggest and simplest things that will help you get better. Anytime that I don't plan my day before, you wake up with no direction, you lose time, you waste a lot of time. But just by spending 5 minutes the night before, going on your notes app on your phone, okay, what time am I waking up? What time am I reading? What time am I going to the gym? What time am I doing this, that, and that? But actually being intentional about planning your day and having structure, this is what's going to allow you to be more efficient with your time and be a better and more effective individual, which will now translate to your trading. Again, how you do one thing is how you do anything. So the next thing I did to get better at Forex was getting a mentor and getting education. Now, some people believe that you don't need a mentor. I can only talk about what worked for me. And that was constantly trying to find people who had the results I wanted, firstly, because that's the first thing, right? There's people out here trying to tell you to learn. Like the first mentor I ever got, I didn't do my research. I didn't know I need to look at people's results. And the first person that I learned from, this person didn't even make no money. They didn't even have a live trading account. Matter of fact, when I asked them what is a demo account,
They didn't even know what a demo account was. So make sure you're learning off people with real life results who've actually been doing this with a proven track record. Secondly, make sure this person that you're going to learn from, well, you resonate with and can understand. A lot of people in this industry love learning from this ICT guy. I'll be honest with you guys. I watched one video, I couldn't watch it. Right? I didn't resonate with the teachings. Not to say his information may or may not be great, I don't know. But for me, I couldn't resonate with that individual, so I didn't choose to go down that route. But by having a mentor, that allowed me to push past self-perceived limits. It allowed me to realize where my blind spots were. Because when I first got started, I was just buying courses and I thought I was trading, but I was actually identifying a lot of the wrong key levels in the market because I didn't have someone to go over them for me and actually validate them. By having a second pair of eyes, by having a mentor, that's not only going to allow you to see what you're doing if it's actually correct, but you're able to shortcut your learning journey because they're going to tell you all the mistakes they made and give you the advice and the tips on how you can literally compress your time frames and shorten that learning journey because you're not making all the mistakes. And now you're focusing on the things that actually matter, which actually help them produce results. Now, when you get a mentor, don't expect that that's going to be the whole thing that changes your life, right? Like we said at the start, it's a collective of different things that are going to help you become a better trader, right? I'm trying to make this video more giving you principles of things that you can do and add into your daily lives that are going to help you get better, right? Obviously, my trading journey is going to be very different to your trading journey. Your trading journey is going to be different to the other gurus you follow. What I'm saying is this: don't compare yourself. Don't think you're supposed to be somewhere else. Don't think you're supposed to be making a certain amount by a certain amount of time. Everyone goes through their own unique journeys. So if you're taking a little bit longer to learn, it's okay, right? Because you know you're not going to quit and you know you're going to stick to your strategy. You know you're going to implement the things I told you in this video. And by now giving yourself time, right? Remember, time's an acronym, TIME, things I must experience. There's going to be these things on your journey that you have to experience that are shaping you, that are crafting you to be that 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure trader that you want to be. The question is, are you going to follow through with it? Are you going to actually act on these things that we went through today? Right? If you're going to go back today, go back to living your lifestyle and, you know, just chilling, relaxing, not implementing these things that I'm telling you, not reflecting on your trades, not having these daily routines, not getting education, not getting mentorship, not having these DMOs, then guess what? You're going to be in that exact same place, in the exact same situation, complaining. So if you want change, you got to change. If you want different results, you got to do different. Now, if you are looking for a mentor, if you are looking for the extra guidance, I do have a few more spaces just opened in my mentorship program. Now listen, I don't accept just anyone into this program. You have to meet a very strict set of criteria because I am not going to offer you something that I don't know can actually help you in your specific situation. So if you're looking for that extra one-to-one support, you're looking to really take your trading to the next level, send me a message on my Instagram. What we'll do is we'll hop on a quick call just to see if this is a good fit for you. And if it is, hey, we're going to get you out here in the next 6 to 12 months. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Drop in the comments anything else you want to see and let me know what is one thing you like to learn. And with that being said, I look forward to creating more content for you guys. I'll see you guys all at the top. From the top, because you already know, man, that bottom's way too crowded.